Hey, it's Alan Zweibel, and you're watching Comedy Matters TV with Jeffrey Gurian.
Hey, it's Jeffrey Gurian here for Comedy Matters TV, and I'm at my place with the great Alan Zweibel. Thanks so much for coming in today.
Well, thanks for having me in your place. I love being in your place, yes.
Thanks. Yeah, it's an unusual, it's like a comedy museum here. Right?
There's pictures and there's clothing of people, old comedy stars. How he got this clothing, I don't know. But yeah, it's like being in some, you know how old ladies have cats? Jeffrey's got photos, yeah, pretty similar.
You know what it is? I never collected autographs. That wasn't the thing. Is that my life always felt like a movie. Like you said, you get to meet the people that you admire, and then if you're lucky, you get to work with them, and then if you're really lucky, you get to be friends with them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so I wanted to always capture that moment, and that's why I took pictures, because it wasn't real to me. Can you understand that?
Oh, no, I can relate to it totally. I mean, people that I grew up admiring are now my friends. You know, people I grew up admiring, I have eulogized at their funerals. Yeah, so it's a cool. It's one of the perks of doing what we do is that people that we admired from afar actually become part of our lives. It's nice.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. It's a blessing. I want to find your book. So Alan just wrote this book, and it's called Benjamin Franklin, Huge Pain in My, whatever you want to fill in, my butt, my neck, my behind.
Scrotum is a good thing. Anything you wish to fill in there. It's a book that I wrote with a guy named Adam Mansbach, who a number of years ago, not a number, just a couple of years ago, wrote a children's book called Go to Fuck to Sleep. And so Adam is obviously a guy who writes books only with words that you can't say on broadcast television. And we wrote this book together, and it was a lot of fun. It's for middle grades. It's for 5th to 9th grade or 10th grade kids. But adults are really liking it also. It's doing well.
Well, it's a fascinating concept because it's not only humorous, but it's also like kind of sci-fi. It's a compilation of letters, right, from a young boy to Benjamin Franklin, who he was named after. His name is Franklin. He's 13 years old.
He's 13 years old. He just entered junior high. He's having a tough time of it. His parents had named him Franklin after this iconic figure, Benjamin Franklin, thinking that some of it would rub off on him. He would be a good role model. It's not working out that way. The kid just enters junior high. He doesn't have a lot of friends. He has an unrequited crush. He's not getting good grades, and he's not getting along with his stepfather. His life is pretty lousy. And one day, the history teacher asked the class to write a letter to a historical character. He does to Benjamin Franklin just to tell him how shitty his name is working out, okay? And he has a fight with his stepfather that night, and he wants to get back at him. He steals one of the vintage stamps, old vintage stamps from his stepfather's stamp collection, mails the letter. Lo and behold, cut to 1776. Benjamin Franklin comes waddling out of his house, goes to the mail, gets this letter from a kid from 2015, and it touches Benjamin Franklin's heart because coincidentally, Benjamin Franklin is having the same social problems with the other founding fathers that this kid is having with his peers. So a grandfather-grandson kind of relationship ensues through these letters between the two.
Now, not to give it away, but when Benjamin Franklin writes back, how does he get his letter to go into the future? Does he have special stamps also?
You know something? There's something special about these stamps. They both live in Philadelphia. It's the same mailbox, okay? There's something about the stamps that it's able to go through the centuries, be able to go through time.
Like magic beans. That's a phenomenal story. And so it's for tweens, basically.
It's for tweens, yeah.
But I think adults could probably enjoy the story, too.
Adults are enjoying it. Got a lot of adult readers, and kids are enjoying it. And it's probably more about Benjamin Franklin than you'll ever want to know. I mean, I bought his autobiography. That's all I did. I didn't read it. I just bought the autobiography, but Googled about him a lot. Because my co-writer, Adam, is a lot younger than me, so he's closer in age to the young boy. And I'm at an age now where I'm closer in age to Benjamin Franklin. So I had to learn the way he spoke, and spoke that way through the letters. And Benjamin Franklin, I knew about the kite, I knew about electricity, I think I knew about the rocking chair and the lightning rod. The bifocals, maybe I knew about. Okay, the glass harmonica, I didn't even know there was a such thing as a glass harmonica. The urinary catheter.
Yeah, that's when we have to thank him for.
Yeah, for you seniors out there, you have Benjamin Franklin to thank or to hate for whatever is inserted there. I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, he could have made it a lot more comfortable
Yeah.
if he wanted to. Now, you've had a legendary career, literally from the time that you were on SNL in the very early days, and you've done so much. You were close to Gilda Radner. You wrote
Yes, indeed, I
Bunny
was.
Bunny.
Bunny Bunny was a book and then became a play, and there's some producers threatening to bring it back to Broadway about my 14-year relationship with Gilda, who was, I was, instrumental in writing, creating some of her characters, and she was...
Like Rosanna Dana.
Yeah, Rosanna Dana. I had a hand in Emily Latella and some of the other things she did. She was godmother to our children, so yeah, we were very close.
That's good. And then you co-created the Garry Shandling show with Garry, which is a great story that you guys met through Bernie Brillstein.
Bernie
if I remember
Brillstein was our...
was such a heavyweight manager.
Yeah, Bernie, literally, he was about 300 pounds, and Bernie introduced us, and I flew out to L.A. and met Garry. He made me laugh. I won't tell the story that I told you before, only because there may be some children out there watching this.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
We already used the word fuck, though. It's okay.
Yeah, but when I said fuck, I said it with a PH. There was no F in it, so it was allowable.
It's allowable, yeah.
No, and for me, it was like lightning striking again, because I had a great collaborative relationship with Gilda and Herb Sargent at SNL and with Garry, and I've been very lucky that way. I wrote a novel with Dave Barry, who is a friend and an idol of mine, and a novel called Lunatic, so that was another successful collaboration. So I've been very lucky with the people that I've worked with that way. And this time was Adam Mansbach with Benjamin Franklin, Huge Pain in My... Look under the jelly, and you'll see what that word is.
Right. Plus, you've been with, you work with Larry David.
Larry David,
You
yeah.
produced Curb Your Enthusiasm for a couple of years. You co-produced that, and then you were on the last season.
I played a character named Duckstein, who asks Larry to have lunch. Larry doesn't want to have anything to do with me, and I just basically chase him throughout the whole episode wanting to have lunch, and he avoids me, which is not a stretch for me because usually people don't want to eat with me. So I knew that character. And the first couple of seasons I was a consulting producer, which basically meant that Larry came into my office, told me what he was going to do, and I said, oh, that sounds really good, and that was my contribution to it.
Now you're working with David Steinberg on Inside Comedy.
Inside
right?
Comedy is a show on Showtime where he interviews people in the comedy field, and it's on hiatus right now, but it's been on for 4 seasons, and I'm sure it will resume.
And you have a deal with IFC.
Well,
I mean,
I did
you're
pilot for IFC.
the credits are like
Yeah,
never
and
ending.
I got a musical in the works. It's like Billy Crystal says, you just got to keep rowing, so you just get up and just keep working,
And you sold the book today.
I sold
Congratulations. Right before this interview, he sold the
this
book.
interview. On my way here, I found out that, for you Jews out there, Adam Mansbach, Dave Barry, and I are writing a parody of the Haggadah. So not this Passover for 2016. My guess by 2017, you're going to have a choice to make between the one that you always use or maybe ours. So, yeah.
Are there still going to be 4 questions, or that's up in the
There are
air?
4 questions, but they're not necessarily the 4 questions you're thinking of, yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot more. And my claim to fame is that this man was the one who gave me my start in the comedy world. Do you remember that?
I do remember you came up to Saturday Night Live. You showed me a film with ladies, old ladies who had their
Stockings rolled down like bagels.
like bagels, and then you put cream cheese on the bagels, and then I'm going, okay, fine, I'll help you. So I called my then manager, a guy named Dave Jonas, who had a toupee that used to spin around when the wind, he was like a whirlybird thing, and I introduced them, and then you started writing for Dave's clients, who were guys that I had written for prior to Saturday Night Live, guys who worked the Catskills, guys named Freddie and Dickie and Vic and Morty.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what was nice about it is that sometimes people will just give you a phone number and say call. You actually called him yourself and asked him to meet with me, and that was such a kind thing to do. I never really forgot that. That's amazing.
What I think, I'm sure that you have found this, that you always remember the people who were nice to you, and you also remember the people who were pricks.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be in the first category, you know, because, and anybody ever comes to me and asks for a favor or advice or anything to do what I can help, the only thing I ever ask them in return is that someday, if they're in a position to help some kid who's coming along, do it. I said, that's the only way I want you to pay me back, is to be nice to somebody who comes to you the way you just came to me.
See that? What a wonderful thing. And all these years, he is. And all these years, I was afraid to call him. I never asked him for it.
Who knew?
When I came up, I remember the day you were playing handball on the wall with Neil Levy, who was a producer. I think it was a cousin of Lorne Michaels.
His cousin, and he was, I don't remember his title was in those early days, but Neil was somebody who helped with production, and he used to preview all the home movies that came in. And if I'm not mistaken, now don't hold me to this, he was either the first or one of the first people to see the Mr. Bill movie when it came in and say, hey guys, come in, you got to watch this thing. So he helped discover that.
And it's amazing that you remember all these years. I don't even want to say how many years it is. The cream cheese on the ankles. That was my grandmother. And she made believe she had a Jewish accent, and she was nice enough, she was kind enough to let me put cream cheese on her ankles. She's like, Jeffrey, only for you would I do this. And I snuck up to Saturday Night Live. I drove up that day. I had a big orange Cadillac that was like a pimp mobile. And in those days, you could pull right up to 30 Rock. There was no security clearance or whatever.
That's how you got upstairs.
The street was open. I got upstairs.
They wouldn't let you into the building.
Right.
They wouldn't let you onto the street, yeah.
That's right. And I got past the security guards, and I got up there, and I brought this film. And then, and thank God that it was you that I met. It could have been anybody. And I kept coming up. You were inviting me, and I
get rid of him. That's, as a matter of fact, ultimately, that's why they have all the security that they have at 30 Rock, because just to keep him out, you know.
Anyway, I want to wish you so much luck with this book. Benjamin Franklin,
huge pain in
my butt, in my tuchus, in time for the holidays. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
It was great to have you here, and
here.
Continued success in everything that you do.
I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey guys, thanks for watching Comedy Matters TV. To check out some of our other videos, click on the boxes on either side of me. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Not just for me, but for my parents.